If you love, love openly. 20 monks and one nun, who was named Asan, were practicing meditation with a certain Zen master. Asan was very pretty, even though her head was shaved and her dress plain. Several monks secretly fell in love with her. One of them wrote her a love letter, insisting upon a private meeting. Asan did not reply. The following day, the master gave a lecture to the group, and when it was over, Asan arose. Addressing the one who had written her, she said, "If you really love me so much, come and embrace me now."
We heard the text, right? We heard it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about acknowledging, is it not? The whole life, the whole game of suffering, the whole thirst for spiritual attainment. Is that all not just about acknowledging? You see, there can be only two things. Either you say that you don't have it and you go after it, and that is the way of attainment. You see this? Attainment. I don't have it, I'm going after it, so I am out to attain. The other is, I have it and all I can do is acknowledge. If you already have it, there is no question of attainment. So now what is left to do? Still there is something left to do. What is that? No, not maintain it. It can't be lost. You don't have to maintain it. It's there. Still there is something that the mind must yet do. What is that?
You
have a diamond.
Yeah.
One situation is you feel that the diamond is lost and you have dropped it out somewhere and you go out to attain it. That is the way of attainment. The other is that the diamond is still there in the house. It's right in front of your eyes. Now what is left to do? You don't have to attain it. Now you know. Gratitude. And that is acknowledgement. That is open acknowledgement. That is saying, yes,
it is right.
I do have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in spite of having it, you won't have it, mind you.
Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge that you do have it. This whole koan is about the immense importance of acknowledgement. We don't have to find, we don't have to realize, we don't have to attain. We just have to say, yes, I have it. This internal agreement, this internal declaration, this loud declaration, yes, I have it, is the only thing that matters.
Can I say something?
Yes, please, of course.
What comes to mind immediately is that I have a taboo on that. And that's planted in me very deeply. I am not allowed to say, yes, I have it. Because then I'm named to be an egomaniac. Who do you think you are? You have it. And that's so ingrained in me, into the marrow, cannot say the cells, maybe even cells, just through being born. Okay, that's a whole different story. Let's keep it as ingrained in me that it's quite, you understand what I'm saying? I can't express it. It's quite a thing to dare to say it aloud.
The spiritual one
you know
is the most arrogant one. He not only says, I have it, he goes to the extent of saying, I am it.
Yeah.
You remember
You get killed for that.
But you also
Your head
can't
goes off.
live. But you also can't live without that.
That's true.
You remember the cataclysmic declaration of the Upanishads? What? I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. And I am no short of God. Yes, people have obviously been killed for that, but
Yeah, so be it. So be it. Yeah, so be it.
yes.
But it starts already, just I want to point out, because it's my own difficulty, just to even acknowledge it to myself, and that I have that, is already huge. There's already inside me a punisher at work saying, hey Raka, who are you to say this?
Not only,
you just think.
Yeah.
you know what, we say we want joy. We can't even acknowledge our happiness.
Remember? Yeah.
We say we want total freedom. We cannot acknowledge even limited freedom. We say we want metaphysical love, the final union. We can't even acknowledge love to a mortal body. That's what this Kwan specifically points at. You have it, obviously. We don't doubt about you having it. But whatever you have will remain dormant, will remain not useful to you till you come out with it.
Speak out loud.
You have to speak out loudly.
It makes me sad.
And whenever you speak out loudly, it will have to be a declaration to the world, because you yourself, the one who is hearing through the ears, too is just the world, a product of the world. Which means you have to acknowledge. If you don't find anybody else to acknowledge it at least to yourself. You cannot carry out clandestine affairs. If you think that you can keep it buried, if you can pretend, masquerade, lead a double life, not possible. You have to live one life in which you have made it known where your heart is. You have to know, the entire world has to know where your heart lies. That's what the lady in question is saying. She's not saying that I doubt whether you love me. Because being among herself, she very well knows that there is nobody who does not love. Love is our nature. Love is the essential thirst of the mind. So if a male monk comes to her and says, I love you, there is nothing surprising about it. Obviously he would love her because we are full of love. But she says that love finds no expression, love provides no relief. Instead, love becomes a medium of suffering just because love remains unexpressed. That also takes us to the very way and the purpose of living. The purpose of living cannot be attainment, then it has to be just expression. We do not live to attain the self, we live to express the self. And love is something that is intimately related to the self. If you can't express your love, and expression of love is obviously not merely verbal, it has to show up in everything that you do. It has to be talking through your breath. And if it is not expressing itself, then in spite of it being there, it would be useless for you. Kabir has a beautiful one on this. He says, Har ghat mera saiya soni sej na koe. The Lord is there in every body, conscious, unconscious, small, big, irrespective of the properties of that body. The God is there in every body. Balihari va ghat ki jis ghat pargat hoye. but I bow down to that particular body in which he finds expression. Obviously, the Lord is everywhere, but that one is special in which he finds expression. Otherwise, he keeps sleeping here. He is very much there in that. Entire universe is nothing but the Lord. But Kabir says that he has a special reverence for the one in which the Lord finds expression. Now, again, that's not a exactly precise thing to say, because the Lord has never denied himself the permission to express. It's you who must decide to express the Lord.
Yeah, not
We are the ones blocking it.
The Lord is not blocking himself.
No.
You are the one blocking the Lord. You have to decide that you will unblock, that you will express, acknowledge.
Open the gate.
Open the gate.
Yeah.
Open the pearly gate.
Yeah, open the gate and declare.
It's so core, as you said, your experience. There are so many core things created in us as being a child, restrictions, and not allowing yourself, saying to yourself, you're not going to be, I'm just here, don't mind me.
Really very small.
I'm very small, I'm not here. And all things like that. I recognize, and being, having fear for being rejected. And there are so many things we're putting us in our computer, becoming conventions in our minds. It's true, this is true, this is true, this is how I am, this is this is me. I don't dare this, I can't do this. Yeah. So it's our little child. Racing.
Yes.
That's where it started to get wrong.
But at the same time, I would reiterate, when I say acknowledgement or declaration, that does not mean wagging the tongue. That does not mean just announcing or getting something published in the newspapers. It's about living it. Expression means living it. Every thought is an expression, every action is an expression. So when we say we must express the self, or we must come out with our love, that means we have to live that way. Otherwise, if it's just about enunciating it through words, it's then very cheap. Anybody can go to the marketplace and just get drunk and then stand on a rooftop and declare, I love so and so, or I love God, or I am God. All that is
end up like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always this sureness that is missing. Like somewhere I know I have it, but when it comes to declaring, then I see maybe not 100%.
That declaration itself will give the sureness. There can be no sureness sans the declaration. You are shying of the declaration, waiting for sureness. The sureness won't come till you declare it.
Similarly, with exactly what's there in the Quran, the embracing someone. Like if my loved one is standing in front of me, so if there's nobody around, then I'm okay with an embrace. But when there are others present, then it's difficult for me to have the same embrace as it would without the presence of others. So you're saying the same.
Obviously.
Do it in.
Obviously.
Okay,
Obviously.
do it.
Say it again.
Don't you see that you are not embracing and giving power to that within you which is doubting whether you must embrace? Go ahead and embrace. And if you repeatedly find that you can't embrace, then at least don't claim that you have it. Love, realization, these are things that roar aloud. They are extremely intimate, yet their expression is out there to the world, in the world. On one hand, they are things of the core, of the heart, yet if it is there, then there is no way you can hide them. It has again been said, it's again by Kabir, he says, even if you hide it with all your might, yet your eyes would reveal it because they would cry. How will you stop your tears? He says these are not things that you can ever prevent from getting expressed, so don't even try.
There's this very strong tendency to sort of not, like, okay, for example, I know that it is there, I love, but I don't want to share it with people or let others know that I love.
Will they be able to harm? Really? Or is it just so that you are afraid of other people? Is there something that they can do to reduce what you have? If not, then why must you be shy of expressing? And I'm not saying that you must express in order to tell others. I'm saying you just express. You don't prevent the expression. The acknowledgement is natural. You don't block it. I'm not saying that you must go to the marketplace, wearing a t-shirt with a sign that reads, I love God. Or that you must begin each conversation by declaring that, I am Brahma. Or that if you are in love with a woman, then you must put that on your rooftop. I'm not saying that. Or have a tattoo of a name here. I'm not saying any of that. But when it does speak through your eyes, through your actions, through everything that you do, through your very being, then why must you be afraid and why must you block it? It does speak, does it not? Your very glance changes, the way you walk changes, your choices change, your decisions change. It really speaks out through you. It's there for the entire world to see. Then why must you be afraid?
You have been taught that it's a private thing, you must not.
It is a private thing, I do not deny that. It's a thing of the heart. But the heart has a fondness for expressing itself. Why must you block the expression? And remember, by blocking the expression, it's an important thing, pay attention to this. By blocking the expression, you are blocking the thing itself. You are not only blocking the expression of the heart, you are blocking the heart itself. You don't allow it to be expressed and it's gone. What do you think? The seed wants to be expressed. If you block the expression of the seed, would the seed survive for long? The seed is in the soil. The seed is now craving to be expressed. And every time it's about to express itself, you block it. What would happen to the seed? Fortunately for us, the seed here never really dies. But you can push it deeper into dormancy. It would never quite die. It can't die. But you can still push it deeper down the earth. And that's not really good for you. See, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you must go out and necessarily kiss in the public or make out in the public. I'm not talking about juvenile declarations of that kind. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm saying be true to yourself. Yes, of course. When it is there, then why must you live a double life? That is hypocrisy. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
Yeah?
as I always say, theory and practice.
Kabir had another one on this. He compares, what do you call the Hans in English?
Three.
One.
Swan.
Swan. Hansa.
Hansa.
Swan.
Swan.
Yeah.
He compares the
Swan.
crow and the swan.
Yeah.
He says,
Kraaiende zwaan.
yeah, he says, no, the bagula rather. What do you call the bagula? The thing that, the bird that stands in water with one leg up and catches the fish.
Reiger. Ja, reiger of reiger. Yeah.
So he says that, the crow is better than that bird. The white bird that stands in the water.
Oh yeah, the white bird, that's the India.
Yes, the white bird, it stands in the water.
Flamingo.
Ja, geen flamingo. Het is zo'n wit, een soort witte reiger.
And it stands almost like a yogi with one leg up.
Yeah, yes, it has its leg always.
One leg is folded.
Yeah.
And it appears to be almost meditating.
Yeah,
And then suddenly the beak goes in and out comes a fish.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Kabir says, look at this one. The skin is white and the mind is all black. He appears, the skin means the appearance. He appears to be meditating.
Yeah,
But really,
he's so attentive.
he is just gunning to kill.
Yeah.
Really, he is just
Get the
aiming
fish.
to get fish.
Totally attention, catching the
And
fish.
he says,
Being on the outside meditating.
Taso to kaua bhala tan man ek hi rang. He says, the crow is far better. The crow also probably has a black mind because always looking for food and such things. But at least it is dark from outside also.
So yeah, that's
Honesty.
At least there is honesty to that
Yeah.
extent that it is displaying what it is like within.
It shows its
It's a
color.
way of saying.
It shows its color.
Yeah, he's saying that he's laying emphasis on being one within and without. What you feel, what you really think, what your deepest conviction is, you must live according to that. Even if that means that you will appear all black. And black here signifies, let's say, vices, nothing else.
Ja, kan maar laten houden. Ja. Mhm.
Really, we don't miss anything else. What is lacking is just the acknowledgement. We don't want to admit to ourselves that we have it. This admission, this final admission that there is no need to run around, we have it, I am that, it is here. Because if you admit this, then the ego suffers. Then the ego is left with no job, nothing to do. And the ego hates it. The ego says, how can I remain unemployed?
Give me work.
Give me work. Give me work.
Give me something to
The
complain
moment you acknowledge that it's here, what would you be left with? Nothing. Just enjoyment. Just fun.
Acknowledgement kills the ego.
Acknowledgement kills the ego. But on the contrary, acknowledgement looks so much like ego.
Yes.
Fact is,
We label it ego.
we label it as ego.
And
fact-
that's the hindrance.
That's the hindrance.
You told once that acknowledgement of the truth is the start of the ending of the ego. That once you acknowledge that there is something beyond, then it is already on the destruction of itself.